All right, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you made it by. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader. Here to help you understand the market from an Elliott Wave perspective. Just cleaning up my screen, getting ready to show you Bitcoin. We're going to look at Bitcoin today. Don't forget, this is a financial advice. Just want to jump into the wave analysis and see if I can show you what I'm seeing, guys. Well, we're just going to exclusively look at Bitcoin, guys, and the analysis applies across the crypto market. What in the world is going on? What is the wave that we are in? I am an Elliott Wave trader. That means I look at wave structure to see if I can piece together the wave structures of 5s and 3s that go together, as Elliott found back in the early 1900s, and predict where price might be heading, what direction, what wave shapes we might be seeing. So with that said, let's jump into what I'm seeing here, guys. We're going to start with my current idea. As far as I can tell, there's two main ideas that are on the table. Okay. Two main ideas that are on the table for now that we just need to discuss. Number one, we have this idea that I'm showing right now, that this current correction, all this choppiness, sideways action, guys, is a corrective wave. That it's some kind of a WXY or an ABC, whatever you want to call it. It would probably be a WXY at this stage. A WXY would be marked by threes. Okay, so there would be the first three-wave move right there, the second three-wave move there, and then this is the third three-wave move. Now the question is that three-wave move finished, or do we have more upside to go? Okay, that's a big question mark. So this is one idea. Okay, that this is a WXY. Now the implications of this particular count, guys, of this structure here, is that this would be followed most likely by an impulse wave to the downside, some kind of a 5-wave impulse to come down and break these lows, collect all the liquidity. The beauty of this count is that it collects the liquidity above the range and it collects liquidity below the range. Perfect market maker strategy there, and then takes the market up as it intended to do. It's also would be considered a Wyckoff accumulation range, and this would be probably the spring, okay, of that count. So there's one count for you guys that I'm looking at. And we'll talk about the small time frame implications of this wave in just a minute. But let me give you another potential aspect of what I'm seeing. So we're going to go to this chart as well. The other count that I'm seeing as a possibility, and I don't like this one as much, to be honest with you, is that this was a triangle. Okay, we had a triangle right here. This was basically A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and what we had following, what came out of that triangle was the fifth wave. That triangle was wave 4, and what came to the bottom, it didn't quite break all the liquidity down here, but it was the fifth wave of the C leg of the larger ABC. Okay, so we basically have an A, a B, and a C leg, and this leg right here was the fifth wave. Okay, so that's another idea as well. All right, so there's two ideas. Now the implications of this particular count is that, come on. There we go. Sorry about that. The implications of this count is that we have either a 3-wave move as an A wave, beginning a 3-wave move to the upside. So that would be like an A. We could get a B, and then we could get a C wave like that, and that would be 3 waves to the upside, correcting the entire structure. Or this is the beginning of a huge impulse wave. Okay, that this first 5 waves was a 1 wave followed by a corrective wave 2, and now we're getting another impulse, should be followed by another corrective wave, and it'll continue on as it goes. It'll just continue to go up, correct like that, and go up in as an impulse wave. So those are the implications of this particular count. Now, which one is it? I do not know. I really don't know. I don't know which one it is. So you say, well, how does Elliott Wave help? Well, it helps you to be ready for the next wave, because in both of those scenarios, there's one thing on this chart that I have to know that happens, and once I figure out if that happens, then I can begin to predict the next wave that should happen if one scenario is right or if the other scenario is right. And so I'm going to begin to try to show you those things right now. And if one scenario is correct, this is what we look for. If the other scenario is correct, this is what we look for. And at least gives you something to look for, so you can have some idea of where the wave might be going and what the next wave might might be as it plays out. So let's talk about our first count. If this is a WXY, okay, then that means this Y wave needs to be made up of 3 waves. And the first wave was an A and a B and then a C. Now this is a zigzag, what we call in Elliott wave. It's a 5-3-5. And let me put my measurement tool on it and I'll show you what I'm seeing here. I'm going to zoom out in just a little bit here. And boom, right there. Okay, so here's what we're seeing. I've got a 3-wave move that does not quite make it to the 1-to-1 extension. So that's correct for both counts, that we have a 3-wave move hitting the 786. We haven't quite made the 1-to-1 extension. The C wave, as you need to know for Elliott wave rules, always needs 5 waves. So the question mark is the C wave finished? Now in both of these counts, I can have either a 3-wave move. Okay, well, let me say it this way. In both of these counts, this particular wave is 5 waves. And the question of the day, of the moment, really, that I was sharing with my my Discord group this afternoon around 3 o'clock, is that, is this wave finished or not? Okay, so how do we know if it's finished, or what would be the reasonable expectation of that wave to show it being finished? Let me show you what we would expect to see. We would expect to see 5 completed waves with divergence between the 3rd and the 5th wave, generally speaking. So if I put the RSI on here, let's get the RSI up there. There we go. Get the RSI showing. So the question mark is, do we have 5 waves, number 1, and number 2, do I have divergence between the 3rd and the 5th? Now, the answer to that question is not so simple. Generally speaking, this wave should also reach to the 1-to-1. Now 786 is a candidate for an extension that we would be okay with, right? But the 1-to-1 is often better, right? It's more common that we have a 1-to-1 relationship between waves like this, but isn't required, okay? So let's look at what this could be. This could be a 1 and a 2. Okay, well, that's kind of clear and plain. So this particular wave have 5 waves. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, now I can count this as this wave right here as the top of 3. Okay, now I can count this particular wave. There's 2 ways to count from here. One way says it's finished. Okay, and the other way says it's not finished. So let me show you both ways. Okay, so I'm going to put the 4 and the 5 right there. Okay, so here's let me get the RSI off there just for a moment. Let me zoom in just a little bit here, show you what I'm seeing. If the 4th wave is finished and the 5th wave is finished, this is the way I would look at it. I would look at this as, oh, I'm sorry about that. Let's try that again. I would look at that as a triangle right here. That the 4th wave is a triangle. It's got 5 waves, and the 5th wave is just a spike to the high. It's a 1-to-1 relationship between the 1 wave and the 5th wave. And so that's a good candidate count for this being a finished 5-wave move. Okay, and if that's the case, if that's a correct count, then we should see divergence between this 3rd and the 5th wave. So let's look at the RSI and see if we see the divergence. Well, the top of the 3rd wave is right here. Okay. Top of the 3rd wave right there. Top of the 5th wave right here. Boom. That's going up, while the top of the 3rd wave and the top of the 5th wave right there going down. That is bearish divergence. So it passes the test. What's interesting as well is I have divergence from this peak to this peak as well, which that's divergence from the 3rd wave and the 5th wave of the 3rd. So I have what we call double divergence. So that's lending the idea that most likely this wave is finished and the wave is going to the downside, most likely for now. That would be the implication of this particular count. Okay, I'll show you another way to count it, and then we'll talk about implications. The other way I'm counting this is a possibility. Okay, I don't like it as much for reasons I just shared, but this could be 3, 3, and then 5 right there. That could be a flat as the 4th wave. And so we'd count the wave like this. 1, 2, 3. All of that's 4, and we still have the 5th wave to go. That would get us up to the 1-to-1 extension, and I like that idea better. Okay, so which one is it? Well, again, I don't know the answer here, guys. I don't know the answer. But do I have a bias? Yes, I have a bias that this was indeed a triangle. This was the 4th wave as a triangle. We got the 5th wave spike, and now we have a reversal wave to the downside. Okay? Now, What does that mean? That means we have a potential, and that's the key word here, because I might be wrong. We might get that other spike to the high. It's possible. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that in tension. I'm gonna say yeah, okay, that could be possible, because one of the arguments against what I'm saying is we have hidden bullish divergence as well right here. That's hidden bull, which accounted for this particular wave right there. And you might say it's played out, but it may continue playing out. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so what would the implications be if that's a finished wave? Well, going back to our, I know this is where it gets a little difficult, and you got to be able to track with Elliott logic a little bit. But if this is a WXY and this is a finished Y wave, in other words, this 5 waves is complete, that means the Y just completed, then the count then would take us, the implication would take us down in 5 waves to maybe break the low. That's a possibility. Okay, and so we may already be in the middle of the beginning stages of this wave on the way down. That's a possibility. That's going to be perceived by the market as a dump of Bitcoin, okay? But hopefully it'll find support right underneath of these waves, right at the 1618 or just below the 1618 extension of the major macro, finding support somewhere around 28K, which is where the bottom of the waves on the higher time frames are, okay? So let me draw a higher time frame box right here. Boom, right here. This is a support zone right there. Go down to the 15-minute again, and you can see my support zone right here. I'd like to find support. Nope, I'm sorry. That is not the one I just drew. Here's the one I just drew. About 28, 29K, somewhere around there. I'd like to find support in that region. Okay, if we come down as an impulse wave to the downside. That's possibility number 1. Okay. So we would look at this first wave on the small time frame. Then we say, hey, we have a potential impulse wave. This is a potential 1 wave, and shoot, this could be a potential 2 wave, and now we're heading down to continue. Or this could get a little bit more complex, like so, and make a 3rd wave up, retest the high, and then come down. There's all kinds of ways that could play out, but we have an impulse wave here, and if this is the top of wave 5, then this could be the first of many waves to come. Okay, we could get a 5-wave move, something like this, right? And then a 2nd wave up, and that would be, in the grand scheme of things, zooming out just a little bit, a little big, but nonetheless could be something like that. Boom, 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 like so. So there's option number 1. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so how do we validate that count? What do we look for if that's going to be the case? Well, I just removed all my drawings. Don't want to do that. So what do we do? What do we look for if that counts in play, and we're going to go down and touch the bottom? Well, number 1, we want to make sure that we don't break this top. So if this wave comes back and breaks this top in any way, shape, or form from this region right now, then I would say that this count that I just gave you is incorrect, that it's not correct, that this wasn't the end of the 5th wave, that the 5th wave is probably going to find its ending up here somewhere at the 1-to-1 extension, where I have the Y located up here, somewhere around 42, 42.5. Okay, that would be so that's a clear indicator that if we go up from anywhere down close by here and break the top, then no go on the count. Okay, now if we haven't finished the wave 4, the wave 5, then what we would expect then that this 5-wave move was the end of a 3-wave flat. Okay, something like this. You got a 3, and then a 5. Okay, so that's a flat. Then we would expect this to be some kind of 1, 2 wave followed by a 3, 4, 5, something like that. And we get an impulse wave, a 5-wave move, an impulse up to the upside that breaks this top, breaks the liquidity zone of our larger structure, and then finds its reversal after that, or at least a wave to the downside after that, something like that. Okay, so there it is. So that's what we're looking for. So either we have finished this 5-wave move and we go down from here, and it could be a 5-wave move that goes down and breaks the bottom at 28K. That's a possibility. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not here to tell you it's going to happen. I'm simply showing you a way to interpret these waves from an Elliott wave perspective. Okay, now what are the other options? What are some other possibilities? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's look at the other chart. If this was the bottom and this was a new structure where we had a 1, 2 off the bottom, What this very well could be, this structure right here, is another impulse wave that is either finished, okay? Same criteria is in play as I just shared, okay? That this is a 1 and a 2, okay? Or an A and a B, and this could be a C wave, okay? Now, if it's an ABC like that, we would expect a 3-wave move to the downside from here, from this current level, or if this 5-wave move isn't finished, as I already stated, it could go up, break the high, and then come down. So, and that's the big question of the day, 2 question marks. What is this? How is this acting within the wave? And I've given you 2 ideas tonight, but is this thing finished? Is this 5 waves done, or do we have one more hit to the high to go? Okay, that's another possibility. So, if this is a 1-2, okay, this could turn into a 1-2 as well, which is very bullish. It leads us to a very, very bullish structure that if we zoomed out, we would be talking 1-2, 1-2 to the upside. And guys, we'd be talking big time 3, 4, 5. You know, we're getting up there. We're going to be heading on. We're going to get out of Dodge here pretty quick. Bitcoin's going to turn very bullish pretty soon. Okay, could go up and make higher highs. Could start impulsing up very, very high. Now, if it's not a 1-2, 1-2, okay, what else could it be? Well, let's talk about it. It could simply be an ABC. An ABC, it's the beginning wave, the first wave of a larger 3-wave correction that we would expect some kind of other 3-wave move, ABC, followed by either another 3-wave move or a 5-wave move to the upside, something like that, where we get 3 waves just like that to the upside following the end of the structure. Okay, so those are the 2 counts that I'm kind of looking at, guys. Okay, I've got basically a bullish count and a bearish count, guys. I mean, bullish and bearish. We try to give you both counts and present all the options. Now, which one is it? I don't know. And if anybody says they do know, they're wrong. They just are. However, we have a reasonable expectation based upon this wave structure of what we might be seeing. Now, let's do a little RSI analysis, and let me give you some thoughts, some takeaways here. I am seeing on the 2-hour chart some hidden bullishness in this particular wave, which leads me to think maybe we get another high. We get another high made here. So that may happen. Okay, if we get another high here, okay, depending on how high that thing goes, okay, depending on how high that thing goes, if it goes up just a little bit and then shows signs of reversal, then I'm going to like this as a 3-wave move, okay, and then we're going to look for another 3-wave move to the downside. However, if it goes up just a little bit and starts coming down very small in a 3-wave fashion, I'm going to start looking at this wave as a 1-2, 1-2, okay? Now, if it comes down from current levels, okay, I'm going to be more inclined to think, well, depending on how it comes down, does it come down in a small 3-wave? Or does it come down in a much larger 3-wave move like this? Depending on how this thing comes down will determine what I believe is coming next. But here's the good thing about it. I believe the next wave we trade might be a spike to the high. Okay, that's a possibility that I'm watching out for, and that might lead me to a decent little short trade that either comes all the way down and breaks the low, which is my previous count on the other page, or it just comes down in 3 waves. Either way, it might be a tradable wave that might benefit me. Okay, or this comes down very bullishly, that it resets the RSI on the 1-hour and 2-hour chart. The RSI gets reset, shows hidden bullish divergence, and then I can take a long at the end of that pullback and trade the next wave, which has a good chance of being a very, very big wave. All right, there's a lot in this video, guys, and a lot of logic that you need to understand Elliott. If you need some help understanding Elliott wave theory, I've got a lot of videos within my Discord teaching Elliott wave. We'd love to have you come on in to learn Elliott wave. I analyze the charts every night with Elliott wave theory, and I give good explanations and offer opportunity for questions for those trying to learn and understand why I'm thinking what I'm thinking. 2 videos every day, 2 opportunities to do that. Plus, within the Discord, you can offer your charts and your ideas videos and ask your questions as well. Not only is it a great educational place, guys, but it's a place where traders get together and talk about what positions they're taking, why they're taking it. We offer trading psychology videos as well as trade management understanding, just how to become a well-rounded trader. If you're interested in becoming a trader or learning how to trade, even if you know nothing, it's a great place to be. But let me tell you something, it's not a place where you're just going to come in and get signals and just trade off of signals, okay, or trade off of my daily videos. Now, the daily videos will help you with a bias, but you have to know how to trade in order to trade those biases or biases, however you say that. And so that's why we spend so much time teaching how to trade and how to think like a trader and not just Elliott Wave. It's a well-rounded education. So we invite you into the Discord if you want to be a part of that. We'd love to have you. Got 3 different tiers for 3 different activity rates within the group. If you just want the educational Discord, that's tier 1. If you would like, wave setups, trade setups as I see them and as I'm trading them, I offer them in setup 2. And if you want just to be your hand to be held as you develop as a trader, I can guide you through that process as well. All right, with that said, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Which one of these ideas do you think is going to happen? Leave a comment in the description, in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that jazz that YouTube likes as you want to support this channel. And if you'd like more content just like this, I'd love to hear your feedback. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I do read all the comments and try to answer them as I can. But with that said, I hope you guys have a great evening. I hope I've given you some ideas for what to be looking for. It's up or down as always. I've given you 2 ideas and basically what wave shapes to be watching for. We're either watching for a 3-wave pullback like this with continuation to the downside here, or we're looking for maybe another impulse to the upside here. Those are the 2 ideas right now at play for the next wave. And then what follows just depends. Just depends on what the market's doing. We could make just a little corrective wave with higher highs, or guys, we could be preparing for a major dump back down to 28K. We'll have to wait and see. I'm on the edge of my seat as well. I hope you guys are too. Hope you're trading safe. Please trade safe out there. This market knows how to take your money, and we want to protect our money from those trying to take it. With that said, you'll have a great night. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Bye-bye.